Heading out today, delivering mail again. So, I don't know what's with my new mail person. But the last person used to deliver me a different address, incorrect address all the time. This one here is delivering me second time now to the same address. So I guess they get stuck up on certain addresses and they keep leaving the same one. So once again, just got to toss this out and then we'll be fine. Well, bummer. It opened back up. All right, let's see how this here is working. This is the house that, when I checked it, it was being sold for $259,000. And the sale was pending. And that was like, what, 2 weeks ago? So, how long can a house be pending? Yeah, I don't know. So it's like 50 degrees today, so pretty warm. So I prefer these type of days instead of, you know, the rainy days. Now this what's happened the last, until today, all we had was rain. It even got up to 70 degrees, but it was raining. I had thunderstorms. Yesterday I had a thunderstorm. It's just crazy. Today it looks really good. It's like no clouds in the sky at all. I guess they said, hey, after raining on you for 7 days in a row, we're going to give you a break and give you a nice sunny sky. So I'm happy about that. I had to start taking my rides indoors. You know, I can go to the gym and ride a stationary bike, or I can walk. Yeah, not too well, but on a treadmill at home. I can last about up to 20 minutes, although 20 minutes is a pretty long time on that treadmill. It's not a real treadmill. It's a, what's it called? I don't know. It's not a treadmill, but you still walk on it, and it has things that are trying to decrease the impact on your knees, so it raises up and down. It's like a stair stepper type deal, but it's on a treadmill. I know they have a name for it. I just don't remember what it is right now. Anyway, I can walk on it, but it was one of those things that says 20 minutes on it. It's like an hour walking, and they're not kidding. It's pretty rough for that 20 minutes. Now, I haven't been able to do 20 minutes because, well, at least not now, because I'm not used to trying to get 20 minutes on that thing. So I did get 10 minutes. So, and it's also boring. Unlike riding a bike, you got things to see, stuff to kind of do, so it becomes more exciting. Not much exciting about a stationary anything. They're boring. So, yeah, so staying on there 10 minutes is just rough for boringness. So I try to listen to a book on tape, figuring that a book on tape will keep me occupied somewhat, and it does to some extent. It's not, so at least it takes away a bit of the boredom of just walking. So I don't understand how come I can ride a bike. I can ride a bike for 2 hours and not get bored. But 5 minutes on a stationary bike, I'm bored. I'm ready to stop just because I'm bored, not because I'm tired. So yeah, I guess I have a problem. Maybe some other people have that same problem. That you can get bored on a stationary object, but not riding a bike. And if you haven't tried it, if you're one of those people who get bored on a stationary bike and think you'd therefore be bored on a regular bike or an e-bike, you'd be wrong. Or at least if your mind's like mine, because yeah, this is a whole lot more activity. Exciting. Keeps your mind going. Of course, you got to watch out for the traffic, which you don't have to watch out for if you're on stationary. Maybe that by itself makes all the difference. The terrain is variable, unlike a stationary. It's not variable. So, all sorts of reasons. In fact, I probably ought to just talk about the benefits of getting outdoors. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Maybe we'll cover that today. I could do it some other day, I guess, but I'm thinking about it today, and who knows what I'll be thinking about tomorrow. So, yeah, I thought about going then, because that car wasn't speeding, but had somebody let me go. Look at all the people. Hello. Two bike riders are traveling fast. Hello, fellow bike riders. Hope y'all doing good. I was hoping I didn't cause any of them to crash. You're a little afraid to talk to people because when they look over at you, they have a tendency to go to the right, which takes them into the gutter. And then there's a little ridge on the gutter that has a tendency to want to make you crash. So, kind of get this tough feeling whether or not I should talk to them or just totally ignore them. But I feel bad ignoring them, so I talk to them and hope they don't crash. Anyway, yeah, I was going to talk about something. What was it? Oh, yeah. Getting out of the house. The benefits of getting out of the house. Not being on a stationary bike. Good topic. Hopefully I can cover it adequately. Well, this audio is kind of distorted a bit. I try to clean it up. So hopefully from this point on it'll be a little bit better. But, yeah, it's not going to be great. As I pointed out, I get bored fairly easily on stationary bikes or stationary anything. I like movement. I like going places. Just pedaling and staying in the same place just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. Maybe you're sitting in your comfortable recliner, watching TV, or waiting for something to happen. If you are, you'll probably be very bored. Maybe you have excuses, such as what I have. Your ability to walk is very limited. Or maybe you can't move around all that much. It's been restricted. It might be you're just lazy. You're fat. One of the things that happens as you sit and watch TV and don't get activities is that mood swings come into people. Frequently they get depressed and they feel as if life is not everything that they were hoping it would be. The lack of exercise, which doesn't have to be much. The definition of this exercise is 20 to 30 minutes, 3 times a week. That's not much to ask. That's very minor. But that much stuff can prevent you from being an unhealthy individual. Studies have showed that this lack of exercises includes people who do not have much exercise, that spend a great deal of their time in their comfortable recliner, have a higher probability of getting diabetes, cancer, big mental decline, and weakness in their muscles. It becomes a point in time in which even standing up starts to be more and more of an issue as your muscles, who have not been getting exercise, refuse to pick you up. It's time to stop those activities that are limiting you and see if some of these things can't be solved by getting out and enjoying the benefits of riding an e-bike. First benefit that I would have is it's not boring, because you're trying to dodge obstacles in your way. I'm terrible at dodging the potholes, so I'm getting better, but I get distracted about other things and I run right into potholes. So I'm not dodging all obstacles, but there's a lot of obstacles that get in your way, and you have the opportunity to dodge them or run them over and not dodge them, suffer the consequences. You're also trying to balance, especially if you're making a U-turn or something. That becomes a very strong balancing issue, in which that actually has been shown to play a very important role in improving your mental health. So that's pretty exciting. You know, everybody likes to make sure they're not getting dementia. I do have a video on dementia itself. You might want to catch that to see the benefits of e-bike over that. But muscle atrophy is bad, and if you're not moving much, you'll end up getting weaker. And the weaker you are, the less things you're able to do. So you want to try to keep activity going. One of the other things you have to survive the cold and the heat. So you have to learn how to dress properly. You have to especially avoid getting run over by distracted drivers. A lot of that can be solved by riding in areas in which distracted drivers aren't allowed to go. And if you're not allowed to do that, at least getting areas in which they're driving slowly, so they have a better chance of not hitting you, or you have a chance of getting out of their way. Driving on a 45 mile per hour road is not the best choice if you come across a distracted driver. That's probably a bad choice. So try to avoid those. I do have a video about that out there, in which you can learn how to drive safely. So one of the advantages of getting out there and getting on the e-bike is you get physical activity. Now, of course, you would get physical activity too riding a stationary bike, so I'm not downing that, but you have to be wanting to do it. And one of the things I found out in my life is that I enjoy riding my bike. I do not enjoy riding a stationary bike. Big difference. So therefore, when it comes to actually exercising, I have a less of a chance of doing it on a stationary bike than what I do getting on my e-bike and riding around the neighborhood. It's a whole lot higher chance that I'll do that. This is a very good form of low-impact exercise, which improves your cardio health It actually boosts your energy in case you notice that you've been a little bit weary and you're thinking, I don't really have enough energy to do this or that. Well, that's because you're sitting around not doing anything. In order to boost your energy levels, you need to get out and do stuff. Just being outside will help benefit you to some extent, and it's going to help your overall fitness. So it is a very enjoyable way to stay active without putting excessive strain on your joints. Me especially have trouble with putting strain on my joints because I weigh too much. Probably be less of an issue if I weighed 180, but I weigh 250, so at 250, bit of a problem. And I've probably already done enough damage where I can't get over that. So it may always be a problem. But riding a bike, I can do. I can ride a bike. I can't walk around the block, but I can ride a bike for a couple hours without issue. The e-bike gives you a chance to be outside exploring. One of the things I found out is in a car, I don't ride around my neighborhoods in my car. I just get to a major road and go where I'm looking at going. But on my bike, I've learned to explore my neighborhood. I learned to explore the area. I learned that there's 2 parks in the area. I didn't even know there was 2 parks in the area. And I've been here for 30 years. So getting out, seeing what's all around, is good. Getting the experience of spending time outdoors gives you the vitamin D if it's during the summertime. Probably not so much in the wintertime. So you might need to supplement the vitamin D for the wintertime. But just experiencing the scenery, and the scenery changes. You have people coming in and out of their driveways. People get to know you and they greet you. You can stop and talk. I most of the time don't stop and talk, but sometimes they wave me over. I always go if they wave me over. I don't know why. I just do. And we sit around and talk. Usually they're waving me over because they want to talk about my e-bike. But sometimes they're saying things like, I lost my dog 2 days ago, so keep a lookout for a brown Dachshund running around. That's my dog. So I've never seen that brown Dachshund, so hopefully she found him. But anyway, things like that happen when you're out moving around. And this has a very positive effect on your mental health. It reduces your stress and it promotes a sense of relaxation. Now, I'm going to say the relaxation does not happen as much if you're riding in heavy traffic. That's scary. So if you're looking at this for relaxation, don't ride in the heavy traffic. Don't do that. Also, if you're getting an e-bike, you can get a bit of a social connection. One of the things that you may have an issue with, you may not care. But if you do care, and that is social contacts. Here in my area, they have a young group of bike riders, which I don't hang out with. But you could hang out with those. There's a young group. They're in the 18 to 25-year-old things, and they go bike riding. And they have a club where they meet and stuff. I'm not really into that. But we do have a separate section that's in Irmo that has a group of bike riders, which is a mix of regular bike riders that might be like 40 years old and e-bike riders that tend to be more advanced in age. They may not be like 90, but they could be 50 or 60. So some people find as they lose some of their ability to ride quickly up hills, especially, that they like the extra boosts that you get from an e-bike. That was my problem. I couldn't ride up all the hills in my area. With the extra boost, there's still one hill that gives me a lot of trouble, but I can make it up on some days. But other than that, I can pretty much go anywhere and ride up any of the hills with my e-bike help that I wasn't able to do before. So some people find that the fact that they can no longer make it up a hill a good reason to move over to an e-bike. You don't have to use the motor until you need it. You can keep it off zero assist, ride around. You're going to get a lot more exercise if you do that because The bike weighs like 70 or 80 pounds. So, as opposed to a regular bike that's weighing like, 20. So, it's going to be a lot harder to start with. But you have the assistant that you can always get. I keep mine on one almost all the time, and occasionally on two. It can go all the way up to 5. But yeah, I don't normally do that. That's not a normal occasion for me. But the social connections you can get with e-bike clubs and even Discord chats. I imagine there's Facebook chats, but I'm not involved in any of those, so I don't know much about the Facebook side of it. The one thing that I got with the e-bike is that you could just go places. You get this. I got this with a motorcycle too. When I was riding a motorcycle, I felt freedom. I felt like I was alive more than not. When I was in a car, the car kind of gives you a little bit of confinement and closing to you. And once I got on a motorcycle, I felt open, freedom. I felt more alive. And that same type of feeling you get when you're riding an e-bike is that you're able to cover more distance with less effort. You're able to explore and it just gives you a sense of freedom. Like you can finally do some things that you didn't know you could do. I mean, that was my case. I felt like I was able to do some things that I didn't know I could do. And that gives you a sense of satisfaction. And you get a sense of freedom that you don't have to depend on everybody else to get you places. That you're able to actually do it yourself. Unless your e-bike breaks down. Then you might need some help. I try to bring enough tools with me so that in case it does break down, I can fix it. But, I'm not very mechanically inclined, so it's a little iffy whether I can fix it or not. In general, being on the e-bike and getting the exercise, not so much if you're just throttling, but if you're getting the exercise, which I always do, I go for exercise first on the e-bike. I use the motor to enhance my pedaling to make it possible to actually do. I do not use throttle almost never. It's a very seldom use function. But one of the things it does is by doing that physical activity of pedaling and stuff, it has been released, it has been studied that you release endorphins, which are the neurotransmitters that are associated with mood improvement. So, riding an e-bike contributes to improving your mood. Watching television and news contributes to a decline in your mood, from my experience. So, I pretty much quit TV and news, except for certain outlets, to decrease my stress level. Don't need any extra ones. The e-bike, one of the things I found out about the e-bike is that you can, if you're this type of person, structure out your week. I'm not much of a structure out my week person, as you can probably tell by how often I put up videos. I'm not on a structure. It's very random. But for people who like routine and structure, setting up a time and stuff to get out and do your e-bike actually helps your day. It makes you feel better and something to look forward to. One of the things I found out, and this may not be true for everybody, but it has been true for me, is that I look forward to heading out on my e-bike. And if the weather's not cooperating, it gets a little upsetting. And going 7 days with horrible weather was very bothering to me because I was not able to do my e-bike. In fact, that's the reason I started exercising indoors on my stationary bike, and that's the reason we're having today's conversation, because I realized that was boring. I did not like it like I did riding my bike. It's still exercise, so I got some exercise, but man, was it boring exercise. And the e-bike has other benefits too, such as it's cost effective as opposed to using your car. It's environmentally friendly as opposed to taking the bus. So this can contribute to you feeling a little bit better about your function in society and how you're helping it out. So yeah, that's something that's out there. One of the things you have to always be aware of, and I'm aware of it very strongly, is that before you start any exercise routines, especially if you have health concerns, you should consult a healthcare advisor. They can give you guidance over what you can and can't do. I talk to them whenever I go, and they're like the opposite. They're saying, "Are you exercising?" Well, not so much. Okay, you need to exercise. You realize I didn't ask you if I should start exercising. Yeah, but look at you. You definitely need to start exercising. All right, so they're right. So I got doctors that encourage me to get out and exercise. They don't want me sitting around. So maybe your doctor is like that too. And you already gotten permission to do it. You just don't do it. That was me. I got permission. I just didn't do it. So you'll find out that riding a bike is actually fun, as opposed to stationary stuff, which is not fun. Riding your bike is fun. And so you get the benefit, besides the fun, you get exercise, you get some outdoor exploration, you get social interactions. All of this can affect your well-being in a positive way. It helps your mental well-being as well as your physical well-being. So I'm just saying all of this so that you know that you should not continue to stay on the couch. It's time to get up, get on an e-bike, and go out. Right now, if you want to get on an e-bike and go out, I recommend the Aventon Adventure. I should do a review of the bike. I mean, I got a review of a bike coming up, but it's not the Aventon Adventure. And I found this to be an extremely good bike. I even found that the interactions that I've had with the customer service has been good. They've had a couple of issues with getting customer service online and working right, but they kind of like inform you as you go that they know they're having a little bit of issues and they're trying to work them all out. So my interactions with the customer service has always been good. I haven't had any issues with them. So if you want a e-bike company that makes a really good e-bike and has pretty decent customer service, somebody to be there and help you out, Aventon is the way to go. And the Aventon Adventure, I think you have to go with the Adventure 2 now. Well, the Adventure 2 has some differences than the Adventure that maybe I should talk about someday. But anyway, you should look at it and come up with your own conclusion which of the Aventon bikes are best for you. They have some really good ones. I recommend if you're over 60 and 65 and older, that step-through bike is probably better than what I have, which is a step-over bike. I can still step over just fine, but that's today. Next month, can I still step over just fine? Yeah, maybe not so much. Especially 10 years from now. Will I be able to step over? Probably, but maybe not. I have to wait until I get there. Hopefully I keep my exercise up and have the ability to do that. But after I got the step over, I realized after a while, this would be a lot more fun if I stepped through and didn't have to step over. And also it helps you when you stop at stop signs. Because you don't have that little bar that you have to straddle. I really miss being able to do these videos, going out for rides. I can still go out for rides sometimes. Although, like the last 7 days, like I said, there was no going out and riding then. I think it was too dangerous with all the rain. It was nice and warm, though. But, yeah, I just really didn't want to take the chance of falling in the rain. So I didn't go out during the rain. Although having a nice rainy video might have been fun to have for a change. But maybe it'd be too hard to see. I had to think about how you could have a riding video and keep the camera kind of clear. There's probably a method. I can look it up, see if I can find that out. Anyway, one of the things I want to point out is that if you like this type of videos and the way I do things, please like this video so that I know these things, and subscribe so that you can see the future ones easier. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 sometime soon. I noticed that a couple of the other e-bikers had made it over 1,000, so I feel like I'm being left behind. So I'm like 170 or so away at this point, so that's a lot. So I'm thinking it might take me to June to get there. But anyway, please do like and subscribe if you find these videos helpful. One of the things that I recently had was a birthday, and I got a bunch of cool birthday presents. Although one of the problems with birthday presents is that people sometimes give you things you don't know how to operate. And you know how mechanically inclined I am. Well, yeah, somebody gave me some earphones that, let's just say, I had a lot of trouble trying to figure out how to get the earphones to work. You know, I'm thinking they're Bluetooth earphones, so I spend an hour trying to get the Bluetooth system to recognize my earphones. However, I found out after a long time that these wireless earphones are not Bluetooth. That there was a dongle that it had. The dongle was hidden in the packaging, but it was there. So after finding that, my day got a lot better. It didn't immediately get better because I got confused and connected the dongle up to the wrong computer. And then I was cussing the computer out, in my manner of cussing, not real cuss words, because it wouldn't work. That I did everything I was supposed to do, and it still wasn't working. What type of system gives you a dongle that doesn't even work? So I spent time going on the internet looking for how to troubleshoot the earphone system. I mean, after I found out it wasn't Bluetooth, I thought for sure I had it solved. That was like an hour of my life. Well, the next 30 minutes of my life was trying to figure out how come the dongle doesn't work. And then I learned, it's just embarrassing, that I connected it to the wrong computer. And so I disconnected it from that computer. And that computer was like asking me, hey, do you ready to do the earphone stuff? And I'm like, no. Yeah, I wasn't even looking at that computer. I didn't know it was asking me questions. I was trying to get it to work on the other one. So, yeah, I eventually got it connected to the correct computer. And the correct computer says, hey, we found this earphone system. Do you want to connect it? And I go, yeah, I definitely want to connect it. I've been trying for an hour and a half to connect it. And then it connected it, and it worked just perfectly. So, hour and a half of my life to do something that, you know, probably 90% of y'all could have done in like 5 minutes or less. But that's my life. Sometimes it's a little difficult.